You didn't hear anything. Hamza, what the heck did you just say? Say it again.
Oh, engineering. Is it what you thought it would be?
Is it? Is it what you thought it would be?
Um,
That's such a good
do you want me to
question.
start or you guys want to start?
I feel like you asked the question, so I feel like one of us should start. I think so too. I'll go ahead.
Okay.
Um, you see, there's a problem with that question because I didn't. I had this like vision of what engineering was, and it was like 30 years down the line of being an engineer. I have this thing where, you tell me like, well, go to the Marine Corps, and I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna be a four-star general, like commanding to the president. Like that's where my mind goes. It immediately goes to like the final step. So no, not at all. Engineering is not what I thought it would be. Um, it it's a lot of busy work. It's very saturated field, yet go on the streets and you'll find like one out of a million people are an engineer. Not sure how that works. And so much Excel, so much computer, not so much work with hands. That's that's the summary of that question. Kenan, what is it what you thought it would be?
Oh man, it's such a Hamza, that's a great question. Um, it is and it isn't. And what I'm doing now is the closest that I thought that I'd come to engineering. And so when I thought of engineer, I'm thinking like, I mean, you look at those movies like about the space program and was October Sky where the kid makes rockets and he launches them and he meets Warner von Braun. He's part of the whole space race thing. I think of those people. I think of people who actually did like, you know, you think about all the CNC machines that we use today for any kind of aspiring engineer or any kind of individual who's into manufacturing. If you know what a CNC is, it's crazy, right? And you look at the older ones. I had the privilege of seeing older CNCs, and they're cogs, wheels, cams, like pulleys, belts, and they still make super precise parts, but there's nothing electronic about them other than a drive motor. Everything else is variable speeds, feeds, and rates, and that's how you control how a part is made, right? When a tool comes out, it's based off of a gear, like a cam that has a certain lobe and has a certain timing to it, and then as well as a certain speed, right? So it comes out at a certain rate, it cuts out at a certain rate, and so on and so forth. Um, that to me is incredible. And I was like, okay, an engineer, you literally design, gears, pulleys, mechanisms, you like powertrains, right? In terms of the automotive world, powertrain systems, right? That's a big one. Suspension, drivetrain. Um, like those are heavy mechanism systems, and that's what I had kind of envisioned. When I graduated, it was not that was not what I saw. I graduated and I began working for a company called Ocado, and they make smart warehouse systems essentially. It's like Amazon warehouse services with all the robots and everything, but for grocery services. And the one um, grocery service that they're partnering with over here in the States is Kroger. And so I go over there, and you basically you're more of a technician than an engineer. So you're basically servicing robots and you're repairing them, fixing them, putting it back out on the grid. And within my first 6 months, without any training, the UK did not give us any training or equipment to learn the robots that they sent us or the material handling equipment that they gave us, the MHE. And within 6 months, I became material handling expert, like a specialist in all the material handling equipment and the robotics, because my brain works like that in terms of figuring out how things work and taking apart and put back together. And I was just a technician, right? And it was a great experience, but at the end of the day, I was not designing, I was not implementing when there were things that were breaking and going wrong. I was like, hey, how can I help make this better? Like I want to join a continuous improvement program and make this system so it doesn't fail. I want to fix the problem and engineer it so it's better. And that wasn't part of my job description. So I eventually left that. We'll elaborate more on that down the road, perhaps. But I'll leave that job, and to now where I'm at, I do legitimate engineering. I do, or close to what I had envisioned. I do some math. I do worry about statics and a little bit of dynamics in terms of moments and like, all right, I have this feature, I have this force on it. I should build this piece so I have, a factor of safety of, 3 or 4.5 or whatever, depending on the application. So I do use engineering. I don't use it as much as I thought I would, but I still use it. And the other blessed part of it is that I use my hands. So my job, I do have to do CAD. I am sitting behind a screen a lot of the time, but I also get to build the products. So we're a small company of about 12 people. And because we work in product design and people come to us with their ideas, we get to bring that to life. And so I see the entire life cycle of the process. So when you come to me as an inventor and you're like, hey, I have this idea. Can you help me bring it to life? I say, yes, here are some concepts, here are some things. We take you all the way from your concept to a prototype to a final, I forget what it's called. Mine's drawing a blank. The dog's barking in the background. Sorry about that. To like a final prototype and then getting you ready for manufacturing, right? I get to see that whole process, and I'm blessed and I'm privileged to see that, and it's amazing. It's exactly what I've been doing my whole life, more or less. I've been helping people. I love helping people with computers, technology, so it feels good to me. But there are other people out in the space program. I'm out in Space Coast, so I see people from Blue Origin, from Grumman, from L3 Harris, from Collins, wherever else. And the general consensus has always been like, from when I talk to people, they don't do hardcore like legitimate engineering. They are paper pushers. So they get the ideas, they get the design from up management, and it comes down to them. And it's their job to instruct the technician on how to appropriately take things apart, put it back together, and if something needs to change in the procedure, that engineer is tasked with that. So they do the paperwork side of it. And so that's what I've heard. I have not heard much difference. I know one other person out here that does more engineering wise. They work with fluid systems and they help design, I think, valving. But that is it. All the other engineers that I've spoken with, even electrical and software ones, they typically, they're doing code. I feel like that's their thing. Even the couple electric ones that I've spoken with, they still push more paper than do actual engineering. So in summary, I know it's been a whole big convoluted story here, but in summary, yes and no is still my answer. No, because from what I've heard and what I've personally experienced my first job, but yes for my second job, because it's the closest thing that I've felt to a legitimate engineering position. And it's fantastic. So I'm going to leave it there.
That's
Okay.
that's pretty solid. Pretty solid. I think we all kind of like, at least for me, we kind of fall into this thing where we just like do the thing and think it's automated and think it's just going to get us to our goal. That's at least what I did. Like I wanted to be in the motorsports like you, Hamza. That's the only way I would have done engineering. And I found myself graduating and just being like, let me just get a job. Like, where's the first job? Where is it? I was like hungry, like hadn't eaten in weeks, starving, like surviving off of like scraps. Like that's how I felt. And I just jumped on the first one and I didn't really put in enough work in on the like engineering side of things to earn the thing that I envisioned for myself. I expected it, didn't get it, got a job and was like, dang, this isn't what I expected. Well, obviously, because I didn't prepare and like do the work to get it. Kenan, shout out to you because you're the most engineer of all of us. Like what you do is pretty sick and yeah, yeah.
We're trying. We're trying. It could change soon, Might be looking at a trackside race engineer here soon, and then who's leading up, leveling up to doing some more important things on the car, doing some suspension,
Yeah.
some braking or things, that would be top tier shit.
Is
That is
that
a cool one.
what you want to do, Hamza? You want to be like a trackside engineer?
Yeah, I probably would want to start off over there and then probably actually design the whole car, but step by step. So
Yeah,
yeah.
just one part of the car at a time. Suspension, engine, all that type of stuff. What kind of like racing series would you choose if you could just choose one right now?
Oof. I would probably say like maybe IMSA or
Hmm.
like the 24 hours one. Rolex, is it Rolex? Is IMSA and Rolex the same?
Uh,
Because IMSA is like the one with multiple classes, so that's probably the one that I'd want to do.
okay.
I feel like IMSA is
Mhm.
just the like that's the broad racing thing. Rolex is just is a race.
Mm,
Oh, so like I'd probably want to be in
Like
like
Rolex
some
24?
GT3 or GT4 class cars.
Yeah. Yep. So
Yeah.
you'd be like IMSA GT4 class or something like that. I want
Yep.
to say, yeah, yeah.
and this is not an attack, but what are you doing to get there? Like what is your like idea of how you get there?
Dude, he's getting first place in his region right now. He's
That
cooking. That's
hey,
what he's
hey, I
doing.
want him to tell me.
So, I've been doing some racing over here, and I've been just trying different setups on the vehicle to see what works best and what doesn't. And I was going to put that down as like a project on my resume to show
Awesome.
that I have been working on my car, racing it, breaking things, making them better, and hopefully that would be good enough. But I also do need to study up on the technical aspects as well. So hitting
Hmm.
some books and doing some math because it's been a while since I've done some actual math. So that's the current goal, but I do have to network, so I have to start going to these bigger races and introducing myself and seeing exactly how some of the other race engineers got into their positions as well. But it's very hard to exactly catch them at the pits and have a conversation with them because they're usually pretty busy.
Yeah. They are. Have you been to like I guess like the race where GT4 and GT3 classes are?
Yeah, I used to go to the Rolex 24 every year down in Daytona.
I remember that. I
Yeah,
always want to hit that. I forgot about that. You still
yeah, I just started.
did you go this year or did it already happen?
It already happened, but I was out here in Alabama and work doesn't really like to give you time off. So, yeah.
Got fight for
I know. I wish I was like Kenan, I wish I could do all that design
it.
stuff, but I'm out here just pushing papers like everybody else.
Eh.
Oh, actually, there's one other thing that I had like a question about. So, it seems like all these big companies outsource work and they outsource work to smaller companies, but it's almost impossible to find that smaller company that does all the design work. How does somebody go about finding that?
That's a very good question. In terms of finding the smaller companies, um, I honestly, that's a really good question, and I don't know how to answer that. I guess I feel like there's a search feature in LinkedIn to search companies by size. So knowing what you just said, because that's honestly a really good point in today's market, where even we do some of that ourselves, right? So we have some of these larger companies out here. We have been contracted by to help them with design work, like Northrop Grumman. We helped a couple of Northrop projects, and then as well as another local engineering team who doesn't have any mechanical engineers. So they contracted us to help them with their mechanical side. Um, so the fact that you have that insight is a great start. And I guess to start off with searching for that kind of thing, again, I'd probably start by looking through LinkedIn, searching by smaller companies and seeing what you find, and just looking them up and interviewing them from there. Anything in the Space Coast, I feel like there's got to be a lot of things, a lot of companies around, like like where we are right now, I know there's a bunch of smaller companies around here in the Space Coast as well. I know
Bunch
we're
of
not the only
machining
one.
stuff.
Mhm.
Yep. Anything. Yeah. So yeah, there's a bunch of supporting um, businesses out here around the Space Coast. So you have out here in the Space Coast in Orlando, they have what they call the high tech corridor, is basically like a gateway for a lot of companies to outreach and communicate to each other on their needs and wants. It's a program that was started in Orlando, I believe. And it's just it's more of an elevated business thing. It's not for people to help like find jobs, I believe. I'm not sure, but the why I bring it up is because they use the services and the abilities in the high tech sometimes to like help facilitate you people getting their needs and wants throughout the entire midsection of Florida. So like Tampa to Orlando to the Space Coast, like that is what they call that's what they've called their high tech corridor. And so there's a lot of companies within that region, that belt, if you will, that kind of support a lot of the defense and aerospace programs out here on the East Coast. So if you're looking for exactly what you described, I'd probably look in those regions and maybe even look up the high tech corridor. I'm not sure what you find, honestly. It's been something that's been brought up in a couple of local meetings at our uh, I guess, community center where I work. It's more of like a an incubation hub, and so they have local events, and it's something that came up, and people from the corridor came and spoke about it. So here I am talking about it. But that's a really good question, and I think you'd have to start by looking for exact. I'm not Googling smaller companies, and LinkedIn. I'm sure has a feature, but that's a that's a really good point, to be honest.
I do have another one. So, would you guys prefer to be fulfilled in a job and get paid less, or would you rather get a job that pays more, like a bigger company, and not be fulfilled at your job?
This guy. Wait a second. Hold on. When are you going to start answering your own questions? Because you didn't answer the engineering one, and you didn't answer that one either.
We're gonna throw him a hot question after this.
I
Which is
mean, hey, I can
Cool.
answer whatever question you want.
That's a uh, uh, this guy
I
over here. He did his homework.
that's tough because for me, I got out of college with a ton of debt, and that debt caused me like unfulfillment, if you will. You know, it just made me feel unfulfilled, like I was less than empty. And financial stability is like a huge thing for me, I found out. I didn't realize that. And so like big job, big money, big sad. But I get to fill that cup that is like in the negative. And then like on the other side is like big happy, big low paycheck, small company, like that type of environment and like the people I work with I love, like good memories and just like all around good, but like I know them, like I know their family, like they can't afford to pay me anymore. Um it's tough. At the beginning it was definitely like big company, like let's just suffer through this, fill that negative cup up, and now I'm at the point where like that cup is like pretty neutral. It's still there, it's still negative, but it's like maintained now. It's under control. Now I am shifting towards like fulfillment. My fulfillment involves like serving and physical exercise or just like output. Like I'm a built man. I have built myself to work, to lead, to stand tall. Like, why would I sit at a desk and not do that? I feel like I'm kind of selling myself short. So the Marine Corps is going to pay me as much as I get paid now. It's not really a question of like I'm going in because the Marine Corps is huge. The Marine Corps is the smallest branch in the military. Like it's tiny. Their budgets are small. They get the worst of the worst equipment, the gear, the vehicles. Everything is as trash as it can be until it doesn't work anymore. So even though like a military branch is huge, I'm definitely going for the more fulfillment, small company, like camaraderie, culture. That's what I need in this stage in my life. I'm not willing to like suffer through to make the money. Like I'll cut down my budgets and figure out different ways to work. You know, that's where I'm at now. Hamza, what about you?
Oh man. Um, I get paid a decent amount now. I can't complain. It's more than enough to where like if I make one paycheck, it's pretty much enough to survive the whole month. So I can't complain there. Um, but every single day I go into work, I'm not gonna say I dread it, but I just know that I'm wasting my valuable time by going into work because I'm not learning any new skills. I've already hit as high as I could go. Um, there's no real engineering that goes on over there. And I'm just riding out my time until my contract is done. So I'm truly wasting time. So I'm looking for a job that I have more fulfillment in, and that I could actually learn something and grow as a engineer and a person as well. So I'd be willing to take a slight pay cut, but not too much because then it comes to the point where, let's say you have a whole family, you have to support your family. So then it comes to the point with how much can you take without being miserable?
Yeah.
So
Like
I,
financially wise?
yeah, financially wise.
Yeah,
So how much of a pay cut can you take while still feeling somewhat fulfilled at your job? So I guess I have to find that right balance. But I don't have a family yet, so
yeah,
I'm gonna take the gamble and move to wherever I need to in order to find that motorsports job.
that's fair. That's fair. It's a tough balance because like your ego does not want that pay cut. It's like we worked hard for this. We already made it to whatever number, whatever it is, thousands. We're not going below that. Like we got to step up. We keep stepping up. And like you kind of have to fight that sometimes. You're like, "No, let's deal with what we got and just like, laterally move into something that brings us more joy." And for you, it seems like it's the motorsports stuff, and like while it may seem like you're going into work and it's just like dread and like this this is a waste of time. It's your stepping stone. Like, think of like your ladder of your life. Like, like college was like this, and then like graduating was like this, and now you're just like you're moving along. The step is over here and like you're moving towards it, you might not be going up, but you're moving towards it. So, because I know that feeling of like going in and just being like, hate this, don't want to be here. That guy, he's okay, but I'm not, I don't like him today. Like, just having your mind attack those things, like, it gets in the way of what you're trying to get after, and it's so counterproductive sometimes. Like, I find myself dreading it, and then I'm like, why am I dreading it? Like, there's this quote by Eric Thomas, and he says like, "Don't cry to give up, cry to keep going." And that hit me this morning, actually. I was just thinking because like, I got those demons too about persevering through stuff, and you got to cry to keep going. Like, you can cry, that's fine. We're men, we cry, but like, do it for a cause. So.
So what was your answer there, Like you saying it's better to have that paper or have that internal satisfaction?
So it's a situational answer.
Mm.
If I'm single, I'll take the pay cut and go for that dream of mine. If I have a family, I have to find that right balance because at the end of the day, my family is more important than my career. So,
Hmm.
that's a tough answer. I know it's not the exact answer you wanted, but yeah.
No, I appreciate that, and it helps because I now I know like because I'm pretty much the same way. So now I'm like, all right, I'm not an outlier here because I think the same. Where if mine might be a little different. So I agree. Like if I have a family and stuff that I need to provide for, if I need the more money, then yeah, then I'll be in that tighter situation where I may not enjoy my work as much.
Mhm.
But I would take the fatter stacks if it led to a greater quality of life outside of work. And I did not have to, I guess, put in so many hours during work, right? So, like, if I worked, let's say, I don't know, 28 hours a week, and I just didn't like it, it was like I was able to do it, I got it done, but then it led to a great quality of life outside that. You know, I think I'd be fine with that for a while. I might hate my work for a little bit, but if as long as my time outside, I guess my majority of time is happy, then I feel better. As opposed to like if I'm working 40 hours a week and I love it there, that's fantastic. And if I take a pay cut, okay, I know I feel better at work. And I mean, you work 40 hours a week. That's a long time in like the total span of your life, right? You're spending a lot of time working. And if you don't enjoy it, what does that do to you as a person in your mental state, right? So if I'm like, if I'm not getting if I'm not getting compensated for it in terms of those, in terms of currency or whatever compensation, I want to be compensated emotionally and like internally. Like I want to feel like satisfied. I'm like, oh, I did like teaching, right? If it was like I could totally be a high school teacher because I love helping people. So like helping kids and stuff, I'm totally about it. I love helping people, seeing that light bulb click and everything, right? So I'm totally about that. And I go home every day, be like, let's go. Johnny finally got it. This kid's been struggling with A plus B equals C for the longest time now. And I literally watched his eyes just click. And he's like, I'm a freaking idiot. He's like, oh man, I understand it now. And now he's teaching the class on how to do all these things. Oh, now I'm such a proud teacher. Like that would be, I'm totally fulfilled. I'm good. I can go home and eat a little bit of ramen here and there. It's not like I live an expensive lifestyle either way. And as long as I can still, hit the backstreet parking lot, do some Bernies, have some fun with the boys, doing some road touring and stuff, and have fun with and still enjoy my quality of life. I'm good. I don't need my world doesn't evolve around money. It revolves around a quality of life and living happily and peacefully. So as long as I have that, I'm good. And so that's where like I vibe with you. I'm on that, and it's a um, if I had a family and I needed to have those extra paychecks, then that's what I do. But I wouldn't mind taking the pay cut if it led to me having a better overall quality of life. I think it is either way, it's situational, but as long as I still walk away with a better quality of life, I'm happy. And uh, I don't know, enjoying a job is really nice. My last job, I enjoyed for a while just because the people, just like what Cody's saying, the camaraderie, the group. Oh my goodness. Getting together with a bunch of guys who are an absolute unit, have great humor, and they're all just like, hoorah, like let's get in there, get this work done, and like go home, get paid. Was fantastic. There was such good camaraderie. I enjoyed it. It was the closest thing that I had to being in like I wouldn't say military, but just in a squadron like mindset, I guess, apart from like lifeguarding. It was
Platoon.
just very a platoon. Yeah, we were such a team. We were such a unit. It was great. We didn't have to ask each other, "Hey, can you go do this?" We just looked at each other when like an accident happened out on the grid, and we knew like, "Hey, he's gonna go get this. I'm gonna go get this. We're gonna start, being a unit and do all this." We didn't have to like ask each other. It just was second nature for all of us to hop in and get things done. And it's such a breath of fresh air. And it was like one of the best working experiences I've ever had. And then now I work where I do, and it's still fantastic. And I still appreciate the quality of life I get from there. So I don't know. It's definitely a big part of your life to enjoy where you're working. So I definitely wouldn't undervalue it for sure. Because if you go to a job that pays you really well, that that you don't like so much, I would use that as a stepping stone. That's what I would try and use it as. I would try and use it as a temporary thing to move on to something greater in life. Because either way, this world is so full of so many opportunities. You don't have to be sad doing what you're doing. Someone else will find joy in what you're sad at, and you'll be sad at what someone else finds enjoyable, right? It's everyone has their thing. That's what makes us all different. That's what makes the world more or less go around. So enjoy what you do, I guess, is the summary of it. And I think that's all I got.
Okay.
Solid.
Um, if you guys could do it all over again, would you pick engineering?
Absolutely. 100%. No doubt. No
100%.
regrets. Met you
100%.
guys, learned how to learn. I know, like, Garrett and I used to say this thing where engineering just gives you a bunch of empty boxes, like empty boxes that you didn't know you needed or didn't know existed. And those empty boxes can be filled with like a whole bunch of knowledge. Like one box, heat transfer, another box, thermodynamics. Like you start looking at windows and you're like, there's a thermal coefficient of that glass right there, and there's a reason why the air on this side is cooler than that. So like you can just look
Yeah.
at anything and just like I know how to figure it out. My wife goes crazy on me because like in a good way, she's just like he can figure anything out. Like there's just nothing he can't figure out. Except his emotions every once in a while, but like other than that, pretty good. Like engineering is a freaking superpower. 100%.
Yeah.
And even though I'm not going to continue that path, very happy I've made it.
Okay.
Amen.
I I first picked engineering because I've always loved cars and I wanted to know how they worked. And
That's
yeah,
that's beautiful. You know too much about how they work now.
yeah, unfortunately,
What size is your turbo on your Tercel?
think it's like a 46 millimeter.
And that's the compressor size,
Yeah, compressor size. I mean, it makes like 250 to the wheels on like 20 pounds of boost, I think.
and it weighs like as much as a paperclip.
With me in it, the car weighs about 2,080 pounds.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's
Yeah, so
ridiculous. Yeah,
it's a
just a
lot.
random question. I was just curious.
Oh yeah, you're good. I
Yeah.
mean, the problem is that the car itself is very small, so you can't fit very wide tires. So I'm running the RT 660s on 205 5015s.
Wow.
All of second is useless. Third gear,
It
it'll
just
just haze the
spins?
tire. Yeah, and first and second, it just spins like straight to red line. Third gear, it'll haze the tires, so like you have to be on the throttle. Like you have to be very like you got to pinky toe it.
Dang. Dude, you need
So yeah,
some 225s or something.
I'm already rubbing on the fender and the frame, so I don't know.
What? They don't
Yeah,
fit in there. You need over fenders, man. Dang. That the
no, they
track
work
width of
too.
that
So
car is probably pretty narrow, isn't it?
it's really narrow. I mean, I got a Bamboo X1C 3D printer,
Hmm.
so I'm planning on printing out some over fenders and maybe coating them in resin so that they could like bond to the fenders. I don't know. It's just an
Dude,
idea, so we'll see.
I please do that because I've been dying to just like create an over fender 3D printed. The whole like 3D surfacing, I think it's called in CAD, has always like I've never figured it out. I've messed with it a bunch of times and I've never figured it out. So please document that because I would love to see that
I
happen.
gotta buy a 3D scanner first so I could scan the whole fender and then build
Uh,
off of that. But
so you do need a 3D scanner. There's like no way to go around that.
it's not mandatory, but in order to make it flow, I could just like put both parts together and you could see it in the actual model
Hmm.
instead of me just designing both and it could be off by a little bit.
Gotcha.
It's possible, but I don't know if I want to do all that work. But yeah.
That's how I've designed all my parts, and they always like turn out to be like you got to do 6 revisions to get it right.
With the 3D scanner, it's just one or two revisions and you're good.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But
Well,
yeah. Do you guys have any future goals for your cars or racing wise.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, Cody, how many cars have you owned?
How many cars?
Oh,
Okay. Let's go. Let's go.
wait. I gotta say, I think my number is going to be. I think he's owned 11 cars.
11, huh?
I was gonna say
I think
eight.
it's 11. Okay.
Do motorcycles count?
Oh, shoot.
Uh, I didn't know that. Oh
Yeah.
man. Um, should we allow it? You said cars.
Yeah, I'm gonna say eight cars, no motorcycles, just cars.
Okay.
Yeah,
Eight and
just
11.
cars.
Hmm.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna say 10. I'm gonna shoot in the middle. So first one, 97 Honda Accord automatic, riced it out to like kind of tasteful. Not really proud of that one. Second one, 95 Honda Civic EG hatchback with a little D15, was manual with an eBay turbo kit. And that thing kind of changed my outlook on like what cars can be. Super sick. Trans problems out the butt though, so I got rid of it. They didn't have support back then apparently. Number three, another automatic, 96 Honda Accord. This one is a V6, so it was like kind of like the J series. Very interesting, but it was automatic. Again, kind of riced it out. I was trying to get that first car again. Wanted it automatic or manual, but couldn't really make it happen. They don't make them manual. Then this is where it began. This is where the games began. 2002 RSX, we're at four. Type S. This thing was a steal. If you know these cars, I paid 1,500 bucks for it. The guy was like trying to just like throw it away. He was asking to 2,500 and then he changed the price as I was talking him down to 15. I'm like, dude, stop. I'll come get it. Bought it on the 4th of July, 2019. That doesn't make sense. 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that was when the games began. I think I got the absolute furthest with that car with all the modifications. I think the only thing it was missing was a freaking roll cage, and it would have been like set. Like it was a proper car. Unfortunately, the RSX chassis aren't good enough to be like time attack cars, so I was kind of capped out, but very happy with how that car performed. Um, then wrecked it, spun into a fence post in, what was that road called? Tycho? Yeah, Tycho.
Yeah, the proving grounds up in Titusville. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Didn't bleed the brakes, had some grippies in the front and slickies in the back, and just spun it. I saw it coming right before that happened. I said, just one more. And now I never say just one more. It's another one. Like DJ Khaled. We don't say one more. Just bad juju. Number five, 2006 350Z, bought it blown up. Head gasket or something, I don't know. The freaking oil looked like a Frappuccino from Dunkin'. And yep. Uh, Number six was another RSX, tried to live up to that white RSX, the previous one. Was a 2006 Type S with a K24 this time. And K24 is a whole different animal. If you have an RSX, I 100% K24 all the way. Just such a good motor. Um, After that, it was giving me some problems. Clutch was going out, just like financial issues. This is like I'm graduated, first job, struggling financially. At the same time as I had that RSX, bought a 2005 or 6 Silverado. No, you said cars, I think that counts.
Yeah.
I flew down to Florida, bought the truck for 10K, drove it back up, and then I couldn't afford to buy a dang license plate for the thing. That's how tight things were. So at this point, I'm dating and go to the dealership. I traded it in. I got about, I think, 7K for it. Not too bad. I got rear-ended in that time too and got a check for like 2K. So I basically got what I paid for it, minus like 1,000 because I had to put a freaking battery and stuff in it. Um, Traded that in and got a 2018 Subaru WRX Premium. So like the highest one without the Brembos. and obviously manual. CVTs suck. Got that thing for a whopping like, oh my God. Oh my God. I think it was almost up to like 29K just because the negative equity from the truck rolled into this loan. And the secret there is that was in my wife's name. You know, she took a bullet for me. And that car was not worth 29K. Bought it immediately. Transmission was garbage. Had it replaced under warranty. Clutch immediately lost money. Like I had like 32 into that car. It was ridiculous. After like a year of owning that thing, not even, I think it was 6 months. Oh, I sold the RSX in that point too, right when I got that.
Yeah.
So at one point I had three cars. The truck,
Dang.
the RSX, and the Subaru. Sold the RSX, traded in the truck for the Subaru, and drove the Subaru around for like 6 months. I hated it. I'm not a Subaru guy. If it's a Subaru, it's got to be like a an Eco Menai, like a 1990, like initial D type stuff. That's the
Yeah,
Subaru I'm
yeah.
about. The new ones suck. Anything above the Eagle Eye. And yeah, that was a terrible deal. Took it to a Hyundai dealership. They took it, I think they gave me 19.5K for it.
Ooh.
So everything else came out of pocket to pay down the negative equity. I just wanted out of loan because I just thought it was the most terrible decision. In hindsight, I should have just thugged it out and kept that stupid car. I just thought it was gonna blow up on me. I was like afraid. I was like, I have bad feeling about this motor. I don't know. I don't want it to blow up. I have no warranty. It's gonna cost like 4K. Let's just get rid of it now. And then not 4 days later, I go to the dealership. All the way in Raleigh. It was like a 2 hour drive. I'd been calling about this G37 Sport, basically a 370Z. But I've been calling about it for months. I'm like, can you please take my Subaru? Please just take my Subaru. Give me money for it. And like, let me get this G37, please. And they're like, no, we can't. It's negative equity. We're not going to be able to do that. You're going to have to pay it down. You're not going to be able to do it. Like, no one's going to give you enough. You're not going to get this car. Constantly. I'm like, fuck. Ah, called like 10 times by now. They know me by name. And then finally, trade in the Subaru. I call them up. I'm like, yo, I'm coming tomorrow and I'm getting that G37. You can't stop me. I have a check. I have a check. I've already got a check. And they're like, sure, sure, it's all yours. Like, it's here, it's ready. You're good. You got a check. I go in there and they're like, oh, this lady came in last night right after you called and she test drove it and said she wanted it. And I'm like, okay, it's still here. Let me get it. And they're like, no, we're holding it. And I'm like, you're holding it? Do you have a check deposit? No. I've never went like crazy in a dealership. I started going crazy. I was like, are you kidding me? Like I was legit like kind of raising my voice and I was because like this has been like 2 months trying to get rid of the Subaru, coordinate all these things. My wife is active duty Marine, took a day off of work to get here, 2 hour drive. She's gonna be late for dinner. Like it's this whole operation, and you're telling me I can't buy the car with the check that I have? I had to walk out of there. My wife was like, breathe, breathe. I'm like, I'm gonna kill this guy. And I walk out, I breathe, I look at the car. I'm like, okay. I walk back in. I'm like, oh, they wouldn't let me test drive it either. That's what pissed me off. I was like, you won't even let me test drive it. I think they thought I was just gonna steal it or something. I don't know. And I walk back in. I'm like, inside this dealership, they have some pretty cool cars. I know there's a long story, but it was pretty cool. They had this like E46 M3. They had like the Bumblebee Camaro like SS. They had like three 370s. Just like kind of all the cool little sporty cars. I think they had some cool Miatas, like an NC M edition. Just like a bunch of cool cars. And they had this like one silver 370Z. It was like pristine, perfect. 2009. They're asking like 15 for it. And I'm just kind of looking at it. I just like started to reflect. I started looking at it. I'm like, I don't want that car. It doesn't have a trunk. It doesn't have back seats. I don't want it. how much is that 370? Like I just asked him out of the blue and he's like, oh, it's 15. I'm like, can you go any lower? No, I'll take it. I immediately called my bank. I was like, all right, I need a different loan for this, that, and good, like awesome. Went to the bank, got the check, came back. I'm like, here's the check. And they're like, oh, okay, here's the keys. Test drive it. I'm like, completely changed. I test drove it and I have to say, like, I fell in love immediately. The transmission and the Z cars are just so good. So good. That car just like was a breath of fresh air and I couldn't help it. I was like, give me it. Bought it with the warranty and it's been great ever since. Um, I think that catches us up. That's it. We're
So
at
that's at nine.
eight. Eight.
I thought the truck was eight.
Oh, did
Oh,
I?
what
Oh,
about the
you're right.
Tacoma?
That's my
So there
wife's.
also the taco.
That doesn't count. That's my
Oh,
wife's.
Oh, okay, okay.
I did help buy that car, but yeah, I guess we're at nine. You're right. You're right. I
Okay.
didn't count that one. Yeah,
yeah, to be a fan.
Damn, I was off by one.
it's pretty close. I think I said 10. Would you say? Eight?
Yeah,
Yeah, I said eight.
Okay.
and I said 11. I thought the taco was going to be included in that.
Uh-uh. I did have a motorcycle at that point too with the Subaru, but that doesn't count. I just
Dang,
bought
I
the
never knew you had a
motorcycle.
motorcycle.
Yeah, I bought it. I don't know I was on a streak, dude. I was on a freaking marketplace streak. Like I'm telling you, like this day was the most money I've ever made on marketplace. It was crazy. Um, my wife and I were just like we had a house for the first time, so we had a two-car garage, and it was just a rental, but it was like we were living in it. And I had bought this boxing bag, like a whole stand, like it was a pretty good one, for like 20 bucks from this retired Marine. He was so nice. He sold it to me. He gave me some weight plates with it too. Like he was chill. I posted it for 250 bucks, and some guy was like, "I'll take it, but I need
Damn.
it delivered." And I'm like, "Okay." And my wife was like, "I want a couch." And I'm like, "Okay. I think I can knock these two out at once." And so rented a U-Haul for like all of 50 or 60 bucks. Took the boxing thing all the way down to like this location. It was a whole like coordinating logistical scheme. Took it down, he paid me, went and bought the couch for like super cheap. And then like on the way back up, I'm like, we have a U-Haul. We could buy whatever the heck we want. Like, and I saw this motorcycle on Marketplace for 200 bucks. I'm like, there's a motorcycle for 200 bucks. And I think I bought a lawnmower that day too. Did a head gasket and flipped it for like a profit of 200 bucks and got the motorcycle, loaded up into the ramp, strapped it down, took it home, did $15 worth of maintenance, kind of got it started, and then sold it for like 650. It was a crazy day. And that's what happened to the motorcycle. So it was like a 2 week thing that I had it and just worked on it, but yeah,
Uh,
not for
I still
riding.
need to get
I
that.
never rode it.
Man.
Yeah, that was a lot. I feel like I spent a lot of time talking about my cars, but
Kenan, how many cars have you had in your lifetime?
oh boy. Oh, you're
oh,
solid
brother.
four or five.
Now, do we count the ones that like are drivable, running, like
Or
um
just in general, how many you've owned?
all right. How many I've owned? We're not gonna yeah, we'll just say owned. We'll leave it broad. So the 92 Paseo, little green machine. That's the OG, that's numero uno, baby. That's what got all the start. That was I think I got that in 2015 or 2016. Um, but so I got that, and then and I think it was 2018 when I spun a bearing in there, lost oil pressure. I had a oil pressure gauge, and it was a mechanical one, so the plastic wire that goes over to the block,
Mm.
um, the that hose broke or something, and the ferrule, whatever, I don't know. It was leaking oil. and it just happened all at once. I started the car one day, and then I had oil pressure, and then I didn't, and I was like, "What the heck?" And basically, over 2 weeks, I find out that it took a while, but I spun a bearing, and then I get rod knock, and that engine is toast. And so I stored the car for a little bit, got a little Honda Civic. I think it was a 95. It was a 95 sedan with the 1.6, I want to say Z6. It's the 1.6 liter VTEC one. That thing was cooking. That was a badass little car. I understand. Like that's when I got my taste of VTEC, and I understood. Like, all right, I got it. I know why they do things to these cars, and this is a hot commodity because
Was that
that car.
manual?
Yeah, it was a stick.
I I didn't know that. Huh.
I only had it for 6 months. So that was at my first house that I got with the boys in Sussex. So in Orlando off Sussex Drive. Um, and so I had that car for 6 months just so I could get a new engine and then put that in the Paseo. And the car was good. It's the only car that's ever left me stranded out on the road, which was only a few miles from my house. I got towed back by a lawn care guy from the city, was super chill. He literally used a jumper cable. We hooked it onto the front of the car, and he just, well, I don't know, hooked it onto his lawnmower, and he pulled me back. Um,
What? That
that
is some
was
Florida story. That's a Florida man story.
Yep. 'Cause he saw me pushing it. I was like, I got like a mile left. Like the car's super light, I'm pushing it back to my house. And it turned out to be an ignition coil. But I'm pushing it back, and the guy just comes up to next to me, sit, on his little whatever
Oh,
two
the
stick.
zero
Controller.
turn? Zero turn?
Oh yeah,
Yep, the
yeah.
zero turn. And he's like, you need a hand? And I'm like, right up the road. I'm a little further up there. And he's like, I got you. And he fucking helped me out. I was like, this guy's a legend. Um, so But yeah, that car was great. Had a lot of fun. Learned essentially how a car should feel in terms of like oversteer. The car was really tight. It was tied into my Paseo. That's when I learned like, all right, my Paseo is not the tightest thing on the block. Like when I return in the Paseo, the first gen is notoriously known for understeer, and mine is no exception. And so the Honda, it would oversteer, and I'm not used to that. I'm like, oh shit. And if I put more brake into it, then the car would come around more. And I'm
Hmm.
not used to that because in the Paseo, if I applied brake, it would actually level out and I'd stop understeering. And I could like almost get it to oversteer a little bit. And I was like, what, like, I don't know. It just wasn't what I was used to. And also the VTEC was crazy. It was so much fun. Um, but it started to develop like a really light rod knock. I could hear it here and there. I'm like, I gotta get rid of this thing. So I passed that on to someone who knows all about them. He's like, don't worry, I got it. I'll take care of it. Um, and I sold it for the same price that I got it at. It was like 800 bucks. I got that thing for. Um, and then,
Dang. VTEC for 800 bucks?
yep,
It's a
it was,
steal.
Hell
it
yeah.
was his, it was, some dad, his son went to jail over some stupid shit, and he's like, all right, he lost the privilege of owning this car anymore, and I'm selling it for him because he's not living here anymore. So he's going to be in jail for 6 months. I'm not having the car sit around. It's getting tossed. So the car was honestly like it was very much a beater. It was a little bit of a heap, but it it drove all right. The engine was great. Shifting, oh my God, the shifter in that car, you could bang first, second all day long. That's something I can like the Toyotas. I've never felt I haven't um the Paseo and even my Caldina, like they just don't bang like the Hondas do. I mean,
Hmm.
it was so smooth every time. You want to go first, second, third, fourth, it didn't care. It was not notchy like the Toyotas where you have to like wait for the synchros to mesh up and then it falls into gear. And I don't know, it was just so easy to split those gears. Um, anyway, got rid of the Honda and then
That's two,
back
right?
on the 90. Yep, so we're only at two. And then had the green machine back up, and then I only had that until when we graduated in fall 2020 or spring. Was it fall? Spring of 2020 is when I graduated, which is right before COVID. And I bought two Paseos. I bought a 92 white one that had been in the what's it called? Like Champ Car Challenge.
Hmm.
So it was like it's got the roll cage, it's all prepped, it's ready to go. No engine or trans, but it needs like, it just needs to be a little work and put back together. So I got that, and then I got a 95 Paseo that was turboed that had a toast engine and had all the turbo stuff, and it had a bunch of supporting things, had just a bunch of nice little nifty supporting mods. And what the plan was to combine the two. So to have all the supporting modifications and to turbo that 92. And so that was going to be a project for the boys. And COVID hit. And so that never happened because of the whole the pandemic thing. And those two cars sat on my parents' um, backyard for quite a while. And I was rocking the Paseo for a bit, and then I was like, all right, I'm a big boy now. I'm gonna do all these cool things to the green machine. I gotta, I'm gonna turbo it, custom brake kit, suspension, built trans. Like we put in the work on this thing. So I need another daily, and that's when I got the mystery box, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. Introducing your 1996 Toyota Paseo, the Gen 2. You'll never see another one again, probably. They're super rare. Um, and love that little car. Call it the mystery box because you'll never know what you get. It'll always get you to point A to point B, but god damn it,
That's right.
there there are times you're like, what is going on?
I can vouch
And
for
so
this. You loaned
he
it
can
to
vouch.
me for a couple days while my white RSX transmission was down, and I need to help my grandparents move houses. And
Yep,
that thing put in the work. It was
yep,
absolutely a mystery box. It did some random little things and quirks. Good car.
yep, yep.
Man, he
That's what
drove the
those
piss
do.
out of that thing.
Yeah.
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 Um, Hamza got to experience some firsthand fun with that after I sorted out some things with the box. I threw on the sticky tires that are on Ellie, some nice 205 5015s. I believe they're Falcon Azenis. Um, and that car is the opposite of Ellie, where the engine from stock is not it's more torquey than high revving. She does not like to rev out, but she's pretty torquey. She's really good at general commute. And the body is stiff. She's nice and tight. So she great at oversteer, and like you get some nice lift off oversteer. You can induce it with a little love tap of the brakes. Very good handling car. And I had to show off to the boy. He came over to visit, and I was like, check this out. We're cruising around, and we hit a neighborhood and got back out. There was a couple cops just hanging there at their house, just chilling. As I'm like coming around, and I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? And like going back to our house, just like playing it cool. Um, God, it's such a good little car.
I
Three hundred
swear,
thousand
man, I thought
miles.
we were going to drill that day.
You got
I
pulled
know.
over?
No,
No,
we were going. He was going around a corner, tires squealing. A cop was making eye contact with us the whole time.
He was probably impressed. He's like, "Dang, I didn't know that little thing can do that."
oh yeah.
Man,
I'm just seeing a side of me a couple times. He's got a couple memories of me and the green machine and the mystery box. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I took
yeah,
Kenan
yeah.
for a spin once. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I spun out on the same spot that I crashed. I spun out with Kenan. Didn't hit anything, but it definitely spooked me a little bit. It's like,
I thought
whoa.
I don't think we spun out in the same spot of that. I thought we spun out beforehand. In the right before those turns, there's that L, there's like that U box, and warming up to that, there's like a dip. I thought that's what we spun out in.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, I
Because I
spun
did the
out
same.
after that.
Yep. Because I did the same in the mystery box with the stickier tires. I was like, holy shit, this thing. this thing's gripping like a madman. And I'm like taking turns faster than I ever had, and I was like, holy shit. And like I was foot in the entire time. Like I had my pedal like I gas all the way down, and it was still coming around. Um, and I was just like, holy shit. Um, yeah, but that was yeah, we did that as well. Um, yeah, and so I had the mystery box, and then I got that at like 270,000 miles. I rolled it over to a little over 300,000. And then 2 years ago, I bought the Swaggin' Wagon. So latest edition, that 97 Toyota Caldina. Um, Lovely little thing. It's the GTT. So she's got the turbo, the all-wheel drive, the 5-speed. Um, Great little thing. I've taken, again, I took that up to Canada last fall. It was great. I've taken all the boys on, we've gone on road trips. We went to North Carolina, we've gone to South Carolina, we've gone down to Springs, we've gone up to Daytona Beach. I've driven on the beach, I've driven it in sand. I've driven along coastline. All-wheel drive works fantastic. Never gotten stuck. Tried to get it stuck once when I was like, all right, if I needed to recover myself, I could, but I'm not in like a dangerous situation. And it just does really good. I would really like to find the limit of the all-wheel drive, kind of, and also maybe like rally a little bit. It has a rear LSD, so she likes to come around, and she's so playful. It's great. Um, but that was the latest edition, and then the 96. I passed on to my little brother, so he's rocking that thing. He's got a little over, I think, 312,000 miles or so on it.
Dang.
I think I don't know if that's the original engine. I know it's the original trans. Um, so he's still rocking that thing. It's doing great. Uh, and the white Champ car I'm currently building with my brothers and my uncle. We're going to actually take that up to South Carolina in a couple weeks to put a Toyota Echo engine in. And then the Black Paseo, I'm going to finish like, kind of parting out, and then I'm going to get rid of that here soon. And that way I'll be down to the Green Machine and the Swaggin' Wagon. I just want those to be my two only vehicles that I have. I'm about to finish getting my motorcycles endorsement. So I might be getting a motorcycle here soon, either a motorcycle or something rear wheel drive. Um, and keep playing around. But that leads us to Ellie, Honda, the two Paseos, the third, so 6 cars.
Yep.
Dang, not bad at all. I've only had two. I've had my green Toyota Tercel,
Well,
1996 Toyota Tercel, and then 2004 Honda Civic. Civic's the daily, Tercel's a project car. Um, yeah, a lot of crazy memories with driving with the Nazi and Kenan over here. Same with you, Cody, but yeah, I still got that video of Kenan spinning out in front of the finish line.
That's
Amazing.
like that's like his WhatsApp profile picture or something, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is. I don't. This isn't gonna come up well because it's.
Oh
yeah, it's
yeah,
me.
that is it. Yeah.
I
Oh
noticed that the
man.
other day. I'm like, all right, yeah, all right. I remember that. Unfortunately I didn't see that, but apparently Hamza got a picture of it.
Oh, I still got the video of it.
Wow.
I have the dash cam of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it
Oh,
was
so that's like a
Cody.
screenshot of the video? Because that's a pretty good one. I've seen the video.
Yeah.
I think that's a photo you took. That's a photo someone took of me, and because I've got like five
Um,
different shots.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's one of them.
It's probably
got,
in the group of the SCCA stuff. Dang.
Yep.
Well, you're at 2 cars? That's pretty crazy, dude. That's crazy. You're ready to jump onto a third. Um,
well, yeah, I was wondering, what V8 car would you guys get next? Or rear wheel drive car would you guys get next if you were to get
So the
one?
two big different questions there, buddy. Which one is it?
yeah. Yeah. It could be both.
It
Yeah,
can
I
be
was gonna say
both.
both.
Let
Both.
me
So
tell you.
rear wheel drive V8.
Let me tell
Well,
you
it
right
could be
now.
rear wheel drive or it could be both.
Okay.
All right.
What about price
C5,
range?
Anything
C5.
under 20K.
20K. All right. C5 still works, can it?
Oh, buddy. All right, check it out. C5Z06. I saw one on Marketplace for 20 grand like a month ago, and I totally would have bought it. I even put it in the group chat. Y'all saw it. I would have bought that thing yesterday. Yesterday. Okay. If I had place for it, if I had a garage for the Swagger Wagon and the vet, over. It's over. I'd own it. I'd be beaten. I'd Hamza knows. Hamza knows. I and
Dude,
he's
you'd be
Cody knows.
dangerous in a Z06.
Cody, you know as well, but Arms has seen a side of me a couple times that it's different. I don't know. I don't know why. Probably because those race events or some shit. But dude, I would be. Oh my God, I'd be an absolute menace on these streets, bro. It'd be crazy. I'd
Cody,
be going through intersections sideways and shit. Oh man, like
Cody,
I'm.
I genuinely wish you were there that day that we're on our way home from that autocross event.
He took the
Oh,
autocross with him, huh?
oh man, this guy was crazy.
I mean, listen, if I had to jump one car, I'm jumping all of them, bro. We were like Cody
Oh,
for
you
the
jumped it.
background. We're no, I didn't like jump the car. I like it's we're on like this backstretch of road that's 2 lane road, one direction each way. And well, I don't know, we're just like kind of like playing around, hopping around each other or whatever. And it's just like a long ass road. And there are like little spots, it's like kind of urban, like it's kind of rural where there's like entrances for farm vehicles or whatever to come out here and there.
Yeah.
But like hop over or something, or I don't know. He instigates me to do this, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking show this guy. And like, I have my girlfriend in me in the passenger seat at the time, and she's asleep. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna let this go real quick and just get going. And we're doing like 60 miles an hour. I drop down, I hop out in the left lane on oncoming traffic. I'm already in it, like I'm passing him. I pass like 3 other cars, and it's like the line of cars keeps going in the right lane. Like everyone's just like back to back to back to back to back. So I end up passing like 12 cars. I pass like a dozen cars and then I get out in front and it takes me like, I'm not, this is a slow car. Like it takes me, 30 seconds to do it. And the entire time I'm in oncoming traffic, just going, there's no one coming and just flying. And then we hit that little bridge, get a little lift off, come back down, scoot out in front of everyone. And I left that guy back there. But just how that whole thing went about, just the poking and playing around, leading to that was crazy. Oh,
I've
and
never
then my
seen someone
girlfriend woke up
overtake
later,
somebody before.
didn't know anything that happened.
She didn't wake up from the
Because
jump from the bridge?
no, nope.
Dang, heavy sleeper.
We pull over to like a light or something, and Arms is like, and he looks over, he's like, she's in the car, and I'm like, I don't know, dude.
Oh, you were following behind him.
I was in front
Yeah,
initially, but he just full on
He passed
sprinted.
you too. You were one of the 12.
Yeah,
oh
Oh
yeah,
my God.
oh yeah,
that was legendary right there. Oh man.
it was crazy.
Dude, that's something I miss. California, like, I don't think I've well, not nearly as much. There's not really anywhere where you can like pass people. Like, there's just so many people that you can't. Like, there's just no point in trying. Miss that. But
Yeah,
I think we should wrap it up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
This is
Time for
good
me to get
though.
going.
Yeah, start the day. Well, your day, your guys is you're 3 hours ahead. It's 10:30 for me. Let me get
Oh
some
yeah.
stuff done. Sunday activities. This is good. We're gonna do this again. This is great. I feel like this is freaking therapy for us.
For real.
I'm about.
So maybe we can get Manasi in here next time. You guys convince him,
Oh
and
yeah,
we'll schedule another one. Well, we can start by doing it like every 2 weeks or something.
I like that. Something bi-weekly.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
yeah. Because I feel like once a week is a little too much, but once a month is not enough. So bi-weekly. Sweet, sweet. I'll send a date in the chat.
All right.
Thank you guys for
Let's go.
participating.
Thank you, thank
Thanks
you.
for getting it going,
Of
taking
course, dude.
initiative. This is great.
Yep, yep. Dude, what
Oh
does your
man.
shirt say? What is that? Swift Paws
Uh,
towel?
yeah, so yep, Swift Paws.
Oh, okay. Is that like surfing or something?
So it's just yeah, so it is a UV shirt, but the brand themselves, what they are is they're what they call a pet enrichment toy. And so it's one of the products that we worked on. And they're basically it's lure coursing for dogs. You might have seen them on Shark Tank because they were on there. But basically it's a motorized pulley and a couple other pulleys, and there's a line that runs between them. And on that line is like a little plastic flag or some kind of dog toy, and the
Yeah,
dogs just chase it. Um, and so it's used for dog training and also like lure coursing for, training the dogs to go really fast down the line and coming back.
interesting. Interesting.
Yep.
I have a dog now, so that's why I asked.
What kind of dog
Oh,
you get?
snap.
A border terrier. He's a chill guy, and I feel like he needs that type of stuff, that like enrichment toys and stuff.
Yep.
He absolutely like he gets bored. He runs faster than me. Like I've been running with him. He's crazy. He's very active. He's small too. He's 25 pounds. But
Damn.
yeah, I'm gonna look into
Wow.
that, the Swift Paws.
Yeah. Dude, check it out. See what you think.
Yeah. All right. Peace, guys.
All right. See
Woo.
ya.
Good shit. Have a good rest of your Sunday.